Bathsheba, baby, I need a favor.
No.
I got an idea.
I'm busy.
Oh, come on, give me a moment, please.
What?
Well, you see, I've got this drawing of you, and I can sell it for half a shekel. But if you sign it, I can sell it for 5.
Well, how many do you want me to sign?
A few.
How many?
12,000?
Hiram, no.
Oh, come on, Bathsheba. I'll give you half the proceeds.
No!
What's wrong with it?
I'm naked.
That's why it's worth 5 shekels.
I don't do that kind of thing anymore.
But it's free money.
I have plenty of money.
Well, I don't have any. In fact, the king doesn't either. We're a year behind on the temple project, and in 5 minutes I have to go in and tell him the money for it is all gone.
You're bankrupt?
We got both.
No surprise, you've been skimming off the top for years.
Slander! Cost of doing business nowadays. The king needs your help.
No, you need my help.
But we're talking about his legacy project here. The great Temple of Solomon. It will stand for thousands of years.
And you want to fund it with naked pictures of his mother?
We'll let the accountants sort that out. Please?
No.
But if I don't have a money-making plan in 5 minutes, he'll kill me. Literally kill me.
That's an inducement, not a threat.
You'll miss me when I'm gone.
I'll finally get some work done.
Is that all you care about? Work?
You know, I'm quite sure 3 hours after he chops your head off, they'll have to beat your mouth to death with a stick.
I hope you know what you're doing.
I've never been more sure. The answer is no, and that's my final decision. Case closed, the end. It's no now and no forever.
I'll put you down as a maybe. Is this what you're doing now? Religious books?
Don't touch them. They're in special piles.
Is this some sort of research?
I'm going to put 24 of the best books together in one volume, which I will call the Bible.
Religious books aren't the big sellers they used to be.
I don't care. It makes me happy.
When will you be done?
Pretty soon. I just have to reread a few more of the submissions before I make my final selections.
Sounds easy enough.
Are you kidding? I've received hundreds of submissions from around the Jewish world. It's taken me 2 years just to sort through them all.
I would have skimmed them all in 3 weeks.
And now we know why the temple is such a mess.
That wasn't my fault. It was those bloody Jebusites.
Last time you blamed the Perizzites.
Oh, they were great compared to the Amorites.
Why didn't you just bring in some Girgashites?
I tried, but they were at war with the Amalekites. The only ones left were the useless Hittites.
I'm a Hittite.
I thought you were a Hittite.
Hittite!
Just kidding.
Just leave me alone. I've got reading to do.
I just want you to know I would never impose upon you to ask your son for a pardon.
I told him to kill you weeks ago.
Fine. You may have a hot body, but you have a cold, cold heart. Farewell, sweet Bathsheba. I have always enjoyed our repartee.
Don't bump the table.
Shalom and goodbye.
Who are you? A paparazzo? Wait, or I'll call security!
Your Highness, it's me! Kahaleth!
Oh my goodness, yeah! Come in, the king's not here.
Are you sure?
Yes, he's at the temple.
I can't stay long.
I just need 5 minutes.
You're sure we're alone?
Yes. This is what I need you to do.
How to Succeed in Everything. The Book of Solomon by King Solomon. Don't tell me you want me to edit this.
Yes, please.
Last time I edited something of his, he sentenced me to death.
And do it anonymously. Take it home, rewrite it, and bring it back. He'll be none the wiser.
He's never been wise at all, believe me. Look at this tripe. I have built great castles and houses and fortresses. I have planted sprawling vineyards and orchards and gardens and beautiful fields of flowers.
I have dug vast reservoirs and filled them with water to nourish those fields.
Is this just one long list of his accomplishments?
More or less. I'm hoping you could, work your magic.
I'm so sick of doing that. That's why he fired me as chief speechwriter. I couldn't take it anymore and said something I shouldn't have.
I remember.
I don't think he liked being called the Goliath of gobbledygook.
He can be sensitive.
Bathsheba, I'm not interested.
Aren't you living in a cave?
A ditch, actually.
I can pay you well.
It's not worth the stress.
I can get you a new writing job.
Where?
Ithaca. A guy named Homer needs an assistant editor for his Trojan War epic.
He's hiring?
He needs good people. I told him I knew someone. But you'd have to edit this first.
Just reading it will take points off my IQ. Is that the king?
Can't be.
What if you were only partially naked?
I'm not doing any cards.
We could paint over some of your more prominent parts.
Just get out.
Who are you?
Oh, that's Simon, the bricklayer. He's here to give me a quote.
Hi. You look familiar. Have you always had that beard?
Yes! Well, I mean, no. A while. It grows fast. Sometimes. But then it slows down. It stopped now. Although, I think it started up again. It sure is itchy. Darn beard.
It's making you sweat.
Oh, yes, it is. It's growing it very thick. When it's growing. But it's stopped now, so it's not. Thank you very much for asking.
What kind of mood is your son in?
He flogged one of the guards this morning for spilling lentils on his second favorite rug.
I'm dead.
Probably.
Are you sure we haven't met before?
No.
You're not sure?
Yes!
You are sure?
I'm positive.
About what?
What was the question?
Have we met?
Me?
Yes, you. Have you and I met before?
Oh, I thought you were talking about her.
Why would I say that? I've known her for years.
You looked like you were looking at her when you said it.
Who am I looking at now?
Me.
Correct. Next question. And this one's a doozy. You've had trouble with it before. Have you and I met before?
I don't know.
You haven't met before? No. He was just leaving. Come back in 5.
No offense, but why would people buy a religious book from you? You've probably caused more sin than you've prevented.
There's another side of me.
Oh, is it this side or this side? Maybe this side. There's a side I'm missing.
Yes, the inside, my mind.
Your moneymaker's not your brain, you know.
Just get out. I've got reading to do.
All right. Here I go into the throne room to tell the king that despite my best efforts to impose strict budget
You
controls,
spent thousands in casinos.
I was unable to keep spending down
In 3-week-long orgies.
because the project was too ambitious.
Because you're a complete moron.
Into the hands of fate.
He's gone. What do you think?
It's even worse than I thought.
That bad?
It's horrible. It's the same fatuous banalities over and over. I'm an editor, not a magician.
I'm begging you, fix it or he'll look ridiculous.
That ship sailed years ago.
You'd be helping me, too. Saul said he'd fund this project of mine as long as I put his book in.
What are the others?
Here's the list of the ones I've picked so far.
You picked Jonah? Good. He stands up to God.
But he does what God says in the end.
3 days in a fish will do that.
Nahum?
It's a repaint of Jonah. God destroys Nineveh and Jonah and destroys it again in Nahum.
No, in Jonah, God threatens to destroy Nineveh, but changes his mind. In Nahum, he actually follows through.
Slow to anger. I like that in a God.
And Nahum is very clear about the nature of God. He says, the Lord will be sure to punish the guilty.
And yet there are lots of guilty people running around.
With God's judgment looming, they live in fear at night.
But they sure enjoy the daytime a lot.
Wait a minute.
You're still alive?
Barely. Say, how many copies of this Bible are you going to make?
3,000? Why?
And what are we going to charge per copy?
I haven't decided. And what do you mean, we?
Gotta go.
He's in super secret mode.
Jeremiah?
You don't like him?
He's a good writer, but a major kvetch. You've done a great job, and you're absolutely right. Your son's book has no place among them.
That's where you come in.
Sorry.
The deadline's not for 5 months.
I have to start from scratch.
So do it.
Don't you think the king would notice such a sudden, complete overhaul? Good point. 5 months is still rushing it.
Well, what else are you working on? Dispatches from a ditch?
I'm starving to death, all right?
So take the job with Homer.
I want to. I just don't know if I can do that kind of thing anymore. I mean, that kind of project, I don't have it in me to do.
The king wants to publish your Bible now.
Now?
Yes.
That's insane.
He's called in all the scribes, and they're assembling in the next room as we speak.
He can't do that. It's my project.
Not anymore. He wants it on sale now to cover the temple deficit.
Passover is 2 weeks away. The scribes will all be going on vacation.
He wants it out for Passover. People always want something to read during the holidays.
The scribes will go on strike.
Fuck the scribes. They'll be working 16-hour shifts until they're done.
Oh, this is a disaster. Whoever gave my son such an idea?
Beats me.
It was you.
I merely floated the possibility.
You put him up to this.
We have to get the money from somewhere or he loses face.
And you lose your head.
Oh, that too.
I've been working on this for years. I haven't picked all the books yet.
Then it's a good thing. The king is forcing you to make some decisions.
I really wanted this to be special.
I'll help you.
Here are the books I'm still considering. You see, I've divided the Bible into 3 categories.
Why are you asking him?
I've got no time. I'll take any advice I can get.
What does he know about this sort of thing?
Not all carpenters are illiterate.
She said you were a bricklayer.
He does lots of things.
You said he was here to give you a quote.
He is.
Okay, bricklayer, give us a quote.
What?
We don't have time for this.
A quote, man. Give us a quote.
Focus on goals, not obstacles.
He's such a kidder.
Smart ass. If you want his opinion, fine. But your deadline's in 15 minutes. Here, I'll help. What's this one? Joshua. That'll be book 1.
No, Genesis goes first. Creation of the world. Come on.
Okay, then Joshua's second.
No, Exodus is next. Look, I've already got the first 5 picked. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. All 5 deal with Jewish law, so they go together nicely. The Torah, I'm calling them.
Oh, look, one under the leg here.
Wait! Oh!
You stacked them wrong. You have to put the big ones on the bottom.
Now stand over there!
Habakkuk, is this a submission?
Yeah, but it's terrible. I was gonna put it in the reject pile, but it propped up the short leg nicely.
So you've got the Torah. What's next?
The prophets.
Don't I wish?
What?
You said the prophets come after the first 5 books.
No, prophets with a PH. It's a homonym.
In a holy book? That's risque.
Oh, I meant the word that
Never
sounds like
mind.
a different.
I've left room for 8 prophets, but there are still 15 candidates.
Oh, so we've got too many prophets. Never thought I'd say that. Show me where they are.
Here.
Joshua, Judges, Ruth.
Ruth? You mean Ruth from Moab?
I think so, yes.
She has a sister-in-law who promotes books of the month. Orpa's Book Club.
I know her. She's a close personal friend.
Could you get her to mention the Bible?
Sure, she owes me a favor.
Thank you.
Stick with me, baby. This'll be a Jerusalem Times bestseller.
5 minutes ago, you said religious books don't sell.
With me on board, it can't miss. Samuel, you've got 2 Samuels.
He submitted 2 books.
Tough shit, he gets 1 slot.
But they go together.
Pick one.
I can't.
Time's up, we're picking this one.
But...
No, decision's made.
No!
Listen, if you don't decide, then your son will. And we both know he doesn't care about literary standards.
How about this? Merge them into one book.
Really?
Sure. Does the contract say how long each book can be?
No.
Well then, 2 books become 1.
Are we paying the scribes per book or per word?
Per book.
Beautiful. I like your thinking, Simon. What's next? Kings. Kings. You've got 2 kings.
Yes.
Not anymore. There can only be 1 king. I'm the king. No, I'm the king. No, I'm the king. No, I'm the king. Have at you. Arr! Victory is mine.
You're a child.
2 kings, 1 book. Got a problem with that bricklayer? No. Good. Chronicles. Chronicles. Make that 1 big chronicle. Ezra. You've got 4 Ezras.
Saul told me I had to include them all.
Why?
He made some sort of deal.
Ezra's head of the Writers' Union.
Oh, you mean Ezra the scribe.
That's him. Oh, and now I remember. As part of the collective agreement, he gets 4 books.
Why do I get the feeling you know as much about bricklaying as I know about Assyrian embroidery? How do you know Ezra?
A close personal friend.
How do you know the head of the Writers' Union?
I did his vestibule.
Oh, the vestibule. Of course, the vestibule. I remember now. It's the best part of the house. You did that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Ezra doesn't have a vestibule.
Whoa, you're right. He doesn't. Ha, silly me.
He does have a lobby, though.
They're the same thing.
Aha! Gotcha! You're Koheleth, aren't you?
How did you know?
Because only dweeby writer geeks use words like vestibule.
Hiram, please don't say anything.
Oh. Don't worry, I won't.
Thank you.
Just sign a few thousand cards and I'll be quiet as a mouse.
Hiram!
Do we have a deal?
All right, but not until the Bible is done.
Fine. Back to work. I say no books for Ezra.
I wouldn't do that. If the scribes find out he's been cut out, they could go on strike.
1 then.
They'll work to rule. They'll write extra slowly and won't accept overtime.
Fucking scribes. 2 then, but in 1 book.
They can still trigger a grievance.
Tell them we're saving the other 2 for the sequel. Deal?
That could work.
Ezra. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We've got 7. There's 1 slot left, and we've got, 2 books. Nehemiah and Esther. Which is your favorite?
Esther. We can't celebrate Purim without Esther.
Okay by me.
Nehemiah deserves a spot.
Why?
It's the only historically reliable thing here.
You mean the others aren't?
Joshua says the sun and moon stood still in the sky for hours so Israel could finish defeating its enemies.
I picked inspirational books, not boring historical ones. I mean, no one would take them literally.
So pick one.
Esther.
Esther it is.
Can't we squeeze Nehemiah in somewhere?
How about this? We give Esther her own book and merge Nehemiah with Ezra.
What? 2 authors?
It could be another union issue.
Does the collective agreement say each book can only have 1 author?
It doesn't specifically forbid it.
Then bam, all in 1 book.
It's kind of bending the rules.
Bathsheba, baby, that's my greatest talent. Behold, Ezra, and Nehemiah.
Sounds like a law firm.
So what comes after the prophets? The taxes. Go on.
The Ketuvim.
What does that mean?
The writings. Sort of a mishmash catch-all category.
Aren't all books writings?
Yeah?
It needs a better title.
I'll work on it.
So, how many slots in this category?
9, but we still have 26 books to pick from.
I thought you said you were almost done.
It's taken me months to get this far because, unlike you, I care about the content.
All right, I'm sorry. So which ones are for sure going in?
This stack of 8.
Oh, so you've got 8 out of 9. Great. Job, Psalms, Proverbs. How to succeed
Did you
in
say
every-
Proverbs?
Yes.
Who's Proverbs?
Saul's.
What?
Sorry, but come on. There's no way these are his Proverbs.
Well, not exactly. He collected selected them from others.
Is he giving them credit?
No.
And the last book of the Bible should be called Lawyers.
Lawyers, chapter 12, verse 9. And verily it came to pass that in the land of Egypt the Lord did sue all the firstborn males.
Does it say that in there?
No, but we should review them. We don't want to find any contradictions in the Bible.
Fill your boots. Next, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Lamentations, Ezekiel. Ezekiel? I have a cousin named Ezekiel. Is he from Babylon?
No, Philadelphia.
Different guy. And finally, Daniel. That's 8. So, one of these gets the last book in the Bible. Any thoughts?
They're all so good.
Let's draw lots.
No.
Alphabetical order.
No.
Reverse alphabetical order.
No.
Shortest.
No.
Longest.
No.
Coin flip.
No.
Least combustible.
No.
Most aerodynamic.
No. I'm not going to do it like that. We have to find the best one. Give me 60 seconds.
58, 59, 60 times up. What's it going to be?
I don't know.
Well, we at least need to narrow them down a bit. Here, I'll call out the names and you say yes or no without thinking.
I can't. I just can't.
And I will execute you all! If one more person tells me I can't do something, I will crush him like a bug!
Hosea,
Yes.
Amos,
Yes.
Baruch,
No.
Maccabees.
No.
No Maccabees?
No. Why?
Well, there's some great battle scenes.
They're problematic. They say you can be absolved of your sins if your family donates money to your local temple.
Whoa, wait a minute. You mean you can pay to have your sins canceled?
It's up for debate.
They can debate all they want. Only God knows the definition of sin, and he's not telling.
The government should get in on this. A sin tax on smoking, drinking, and gambling.
So you want it in?
God, no, give it to me. I don't want the taxpayers to find out just yet.
Scratch Maccabees.
What about Judith?
No.
Joel?
Yes?
Susanna?
Oh, that's a tricky one.
What's wrong with it?
It's good, but a bit racy. Two lecherous old men see Susanna naked, so they demand she sleep with them, or they tell the whole town she was a slut.
Was she hot?
She was very beautiful.
Blonde or brunette?
Redhead, I think.
Are there any pictures?
Hiram, you haven't even heard the whole story. She refused to sleep with the old men, so they had her arrested and convicted. But just before she was executed, she skillfully defended herself in court.
Whoa!
And the men were hanged for bearing false witness.
Great story. Sex, blackmail,
Justice.
sure. It sells itself. Put it in.
I'm worried it's too similar to how I met Saul's father.
Right. Did you know this, scribe? When King David saw her bathing naked, he was so overcome with passion, he rushed right over to get to know her. And I mean, get to know her in the biblical sense.
What do you mean, biblical sense?
I don't know. I just wanted to be the first to say it.
So, Susanna?
What do you think?
She's a brave but misunderstood woman. Like you.
It's in. Put it on the pile.
Obadiah?
Yes.
Jonah?
Yes.
Micah?
Yes.
Nahum?
Yes.
Oh, they can't all be yes. Parables.
No. How many are in the yes pile?
8. How about rock, parchment, scissors?
No.
Oh, Bathsheba, there's got to be
How
some way-
dare you! Do not disobey me! An order from me is like an order from God!
Stay here. I'm going to see what's up.
You're getting along with Bathsheba rather well.
She's great. We're a good team.
You're lucky she likes you. Since David died, suitors from all over the world have proposed marriage, and she's dismissed them all. You know how they met, right?
She bathed on a roof across
Right.
from him.
He went wild with passion. I know, because I was there.
You were?
Yes. Somebody shouted, "Hey, some lady's taking her clothes off across the street." We all rushed to the balcony. I got there just as her towel hit the floor. And brother, you can have your 10 commandments. Huh? What do you think? Huh? Was that an earthquake?
He is talking to the scribes who are mad because they were all rousted from their homes and marched here with no notice.
Then why don't I take the scribes, the Torah now? Then the king won't know it's us holding things up.
Good idea. Got any ideas how you're going to edit Saul's book?
We're out of time. It'll have to go in as is.
Can you just scribble something out really quick?
Not if you want something good. In the meantime, let's give all the profits to the
What
scribes.
the hell?
Nick, you don't understand.
Oh, I ate
what
for 20 seconds and you're already giving away all the profits.
No, profits. P-H.
I'm not turning my back on you for 1 second.
The king is on his way.
You recognize me.
Oh, please.
I can't work under these conditions.
I need you to. I saved your life. I'm calling it a favor. Please.
All right. So,
What's left on the list?
Zephaniah, Haggai, Zechariah, and Malachi. That makes 12, and I have to pick one of them.
Put them all in one book.
12 authors?
The dozen.
Sounds like a carton of eggs.
Okay, then the something dozen. What's another word that starts with D?
You mean an alliteration?
Yes. Something like the dazzling dozen.
The deuterocanonical dozen.
More like the dweeby dozen.
Let's just stick with the 12, okay?
Here, I'll take these to the scribes also. Back in a minute.
You've got a real knack for literature. Too bad you didn't write a book for the Bible.
Actually, I did.
What? Which one?
This one.
Song of Songs. May I?
Please.
I sit down in his shadow with great delight, and his fruit is sweet. This is very nice.
Thank you.
He brought me to his bedroom, and his banner over me was love. It's a love poem.
Correct.
My love puts his hand in the opening, and joy filled my heart. Wet perfume fell from my fingers onto the lock. It's erotic poetry.
Yes. And it's actually about me and his father.
King David?
Yeah. I changed a few of the details so it's not obvious. David was the most fascinating, charismatic man I ever met. So I wrote this to keep him close to me.
He's coming!
We gotta get out of here!
There's no time, put your beard on!
We can't find it!
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you His Extreme Eminence, His Bounteous Beatitude, His All-Holiness, His Most Excellent Highness, His Magnificent Majesty, His Illustrious, Serene, and Dignified Lord, Most Potent Prince, Most Gracious Lordship, and Jolly Good All-Around Fellow, Ruler of the United Monarchy of Israel, wait for it, King Solomon.
So, Hiram, do you have my money? Or are you going to die a painful death? I need to know because I think our gallows is broken. And I'd like to test it out a few times on you. Oh, hi, Mom.
Hi, honey. You look thin. Are you eating?
Not really. The temple's a disaster. We brought those masons in from Babylon and they're useless. They might as well just leave a pile of rubble.
Oh, honey.
Now, Hiram tells me we're out of money.
Don't try to outdo your father at everything. Be yourself.
Everyone says David was great, David was wonderful. No one ever says Solomon the Great.
You are great. Just a little short-tempered, maybe. Probably because you don't eat.
I'm stressed.
Have you met any nice girls lately?
I've got 700 wives.
So you're playing the field. But would it kill you to settle down? What about that one girl from Egypt, Sheena?
Sheba?
That's right. She brought you all those gifts. She really liked you.
She sailed all the way from Cairo for a first date, Ma. It creeped me out.
I liked her.
I don't have time for this. Hiram, come here. Tell me about your plan to get money from the temple, or I'll hang you in 5 minutes.
Yes, sire. As I said, your mother has graciously agreed to publish the Bible right away. I'm convinced that it will make 1,000,000 shekels in its first month.
1,000,000 shekels, that sounds like hyperbole to me.
Hyperbole, sire?
I'm exaggerating.
Oh, hyperbole. I'm not exaggerating, sire. I would never do that to you.
Hiram, you're the epitome of hyperbole. I need the money right away because next year I want to start work on my library. I don't care what anyone says, these projects will be completed. As I said in Proverbs, answer not a fool according to his folly, lest you be like him yourself.
You said that, sire? It's brilliant.
I know. Let me show you. Bring me Proverbs. I even know the chapter and verse. That's how smart I am. Chapter 26, verse 4.
Amazing recall, sire.
I know I have a memory like one of those snappy, grabby metal things.
A steel trap?
Yeah.
Astounding, sire. Once the Bible is published, you will forever be known as Solomon the Wise.
I know, but it's only true, of course. What's wrong?
My friend here just has a question. After you say, answer not a fool, the next sentence says, answer a fool according to his folly, lest he be wise in his own eyes.
Let me see that. It says some fools are, foolish, so don't be like them. And if you have to be, foolish, then tell them not to be so foolish.
Well said, Saul.
Brilliant, sire.
You're very perspicacious.
No, I'm not.
No, honey, he means you have an uncommon insight.
Who are you, anyway?
That's Simon, the pipe
Bricklayer.
fitter. That too. He's also a freelance editor who will come up with some great suggestions.
I remember I had a speechwriter that used words like that. Perspicacious. I sentenced him to death. Speaking of sweating, you're dripping on the floor.
Don't you want to hear what he has to
You
say?
can go home right now. I'm not changing a word.
It's a great book, Saul, but he
No.
could use a few.
I won't do it. Go home.
Yes, sire.
No, stay!
Yes, Highness.
No, go.
Yes, sire.
No, stay!
Yes, Highness.
Ma, you still think you're a little boy, but I'm the king now. I'm an all-powerful monarch who everyone's scared of.
I know, sweetie, I'm scared of you too.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am.
No, you're not.
Don't contradict me in front of the others. All I'm asking is that you let Koheleth stay here and edit your book.
Koheleth?
I mean, oh shit.
Koheleth. So you crawled back here for one more editing contract. Thought you could sneak past me, expecting I wouldn't notice?
Saul, it was my fault.
Hiram, take him to the dungeon and have him executed. No!
I asked him to come. He's here to help you.
I don't need help.
Yes, you do. Your book is shit.
Ah.
And if you don't agree to have him edit it, people will laugh at you from now until kingdom come.
No. My people love what I write.
People loved what Koheleth wrote for you. If this book gets published, people will realize you've been fooling them for years. Or you could ask him to come back, make it better, and no one will be the wiser.
Bring him back.
What?
I said bring him back.
As you wish.
Do you really think it's bad?
Sorry, honey.
No one ever said anything before.
Well, that's because everyone is scared of you.
Dad was a great writer.
Yes, he was, but he practiced for years and he took criticism to get better.
All right, Koheleth, tell me what's wrong with my book.
Yes, sire. My first thought is that you list all your possessions: houses, vineyards, servants, and massive piles of gold. But
You don't talk about why you're collecting them.
I can do whatever I want. I don't need to explain my actions.
It would make the book more interesting to read.
But isn't it obvious? Wealth is good.
Let me put it another way. You're the richest and most powerful man who's ever lived. What more do you want?
More riches and power.
Yeah.
And then what?
More riches and power.
And then eventually you die. What then?
How dare you? I don't die.
You die.
Hiram, take it back to the dungeon.
Yes, sire.
He was just asking you a question.
He said I was going to die.
But you will. We'll all die one day.
But I'm king.
I know. He's just asking, what's the point of accumulating all those riches when you can't take them with you?
I never thought about it.
And that's what he's asking you to do. Let the public know what you're thinking. Tell Hiram to bring him back, please.
Hiram, bring him back.
As you wish.
Honey? Honey? Are you okay? Are you hungry? Do you want some chicken soup?
What's wrong with him?
He needs a moment. Try talking to him.
Sire, the purpose of my question a moment ago was to
I'm
give
going
you...
to die one day.
Yes, we all will.
But I'm the richest person that ever lived.
Rich or poor, strong or weak, wise or foolish. We all die.
But I'm king. That's not fair.
It's actually very fair.
Ask him again.
Sire, what's the point of accumulating so much wealth?
The future, so bleak.
What's happened to him?
Quick, grab a quill and parchment. I think he's about to say something profound.
Vanity of vanity, all is vanity.
What the hell?
No, it's good. Are you getting this? What do you mean, sire?
What profit hath a man of all his labor which he taketh under the sun? One generation passeth away, and another one cometh. But the earth abideth forever.
He snapped.
A minute ago, he was so bright-eyed. Now he's babbling depressing nonsense. What happened?
He's become an intellectual.
I'm worried.
Don't be. It's a burst of enlightenment. I'm sure of it. Quick, grab your quill.
There is a time for everything under the sun. A time to be born, and a time to die.
Interesting.
Well
Time
done,
to
Saul.
plant, and a time to sow.
Very good.
I'm so proud of you, honey.
And a time to heal.
Wonderful,
A time to
sire.
tear down.
Now,
And a time to
if I
build
could ask
up.
you another question.
A time to weep.
Yes,
A time
moving
to
on.
mourn, a time to dance.
Should I keep writing?
A time to scatter stones, and a time to gather them up.
Sire, you've made your
A
point.
time to embrace,
Can you help?
and a time to
What did you
refrain
do to
from
him?
embracing.
Nothing. A few minutes ago, he was the least introspective man I ever met. Now, suddenly, he's Heraclitus.
I'm so proud of him.
A time to
What is this?
throw
Flowers for
a
Algernon?
time to tear, and a
Is there an
time
off
to
switch?
mend, a time to be silent,
Darling.
and a time to speak,
Sweetie,
a time to
listen me.
love,
Those
and
are
a
some
time to
beautiful
hate.
thoughts, but we've got to move on.
Move on to what? It's all futile. What does a man gain
book
from
is
all
writing
his work?
itself.
Nothing.
You broke the king.
The sun rises and sets and rises
You
again.
spent your whole
The
life
wind
sheltering
blows
him
from the south,
from
and then the north
self-reflections.
around,
He's never
around,
once
and
contemplated
back
his
again.
own mortality.
The
Now
rivers
hitting him
flow
square in
into
the eyes.
But the sea is never full.
Snap out of it.
Oh, let him talk. He'll have the whole book written in half an hour.
Sire, leave him alone. Let go of me.
Don't interrupt him.
How would you like a punch in the face? Out, out, out.
Boys! The Bible is no reason to kill each other. Here's what I suggest. Hiram, you take the king back to his rooms. I'll be there in a minute to transcribe his thoughts. This should be a happy book for the Bible, the Book of Solomon.
No, I don't want it named after me. If I have conveyed any profundities at this time, they are due only to the sagacity and probity of my great friend, Koheleth.
Too kind, sire, but these words on the pages are yours, and yours alone.
Your intellect and kindness were the soil that nourished the fruits of my mind. From this time on, this book shall be called The Teacher, for Koheleth was my teacher.
The Teacher. That's not a very good title. From a marketing perspective, you know how everything sounds more impressive in Greek? What's the Greek word for teacher?
Look, I actually know this. The Greek word for teacher is echo tasty ass.
Ecclesiastes.
Is it?
Actually, I don't remember.
No, Ecclesiastes. That sounds right. Thank you for correcting me.
My pleasure.
Now off with your head! Just kidding. From this day onward, this book shall be called Ecclesiastes.
Thank you, sire.
And thank you so much for your help. I'll write Homer a glowing letter of reference.
Thank you, and congratulations to you on assembling the Bible. I'm sure it will be read by many people.
Oh, and many people will say they've read it, but haven't.
And sire, I'm quite sure you'll forever be known as Solomon the Wise.
Thank you! And to express my gratitude to you, Koheleth, not only for Ecclesiastes, but for the many years of speech writing, you shall get 30% of the profits.
Thank you, sire!
And Mom, you also get 30%. And I shall take 40% to finish the temple.
But sire, that leaves nothing for me.
Let's not argue over who gets what. The purpose of life is to eat, drink, and be merry.
I'm married when I get paid commissions.
Only those people who contributed to the writing of the Bible shall share in the profits. Mom has Song of Songs. I added Proverbs. Koheleth and I did Ecclesiastes.
I have lots of book ideas.
Such as?
Let's see. Oh, how about a diet book? People are always wanting to be healthier. You know what's trendy now? Kosher. How about a book titled Pork Free and Loving It?
We covered that in Leviticus.
All right. How about a travel book? The Sinai is lovely this time of year.
That's in Exodus. Moses spent 40 years wandering the desert.
So let's put some maps in it so that doesn't happen again. Oh, no? How about a book on regional foods? Jesus of Nazareth.
No, Hiram. It's good as it is. The first copies of the Bible should be on the way to the bookstores by the weekend.
You're still going to sign those cards, aren't you?
I'll tell you what. I'll sign those cards when the Bible goes out of print.
Deep. Wait, I got it. 99 Jewish jokes.
That's ridiculous.
Why? You've got books on sin, laws, war, betrayal, and sex.
What do you think, Koheleth?
No way.
Ma?
Ridiculous.
There you go. The answer is no.
But sire, you haven't heard any of the jokes yet.
We don't have time.
Just one. Hear one, and if you don't like it, I'll never ask again.
All right, one joke.
Thank you, Highness. Thank you. All right, here goes. A Jewish grandmother takes her grandson to the beach one day. As the toddler is frolicking in the surf, a giant wave crashes over them and pulls the boy out to sea. The grandmother can't swim, so she falls to her knees and prays to God. Please, Lord, save my grandson. Please, I'll do anything. A moment later, another wave lifts the boy from the surf and plants him safe and sound back on the beach. The grandmother looks at the boy, looks at God, and says, "He had a hat."
Let's go.
Wait, I've got another one. A rabbi, a shaman, and a medicine man walk into a bar. The bartender says, "Is this some sort of joke?"